let's get started. Hi YouTube. I am gonna turn this up first of all before I get started, and I have to apologize. I really have to apologize because it's been a half a year since I posted a video, and I had to really take everything in before I came back on and started talking. But if you may excuse me, life happens, and I did not have any time, and I'm a little bit weirded out about posting selfies and posting pictures of myself and videos of myself. So I guess I should use another methodology when it comes to explaining some of the things that my channel is about. But welcome back. I did post a little silly video about a commercial that's very popular here. Anyways, good Lord. So we're expecting another baby, and I have had some time to really experience the education of Germany, so I have a lot to report back on. This video is going to be sort of a rant, and I'm going to try not to rant, but if I do, please excuse me. My daughter is 11 years old, and she is in a school program called Gemanshaft schule, which means like together school. This school is supposed to be like a school that caters to all students who are from Europe, who are not from Europe, who are learning the language, the German language, and who are trying to, who are trying to get themselves integrated into the school system and into the educational system. My problem was, okay, so backtrack a little bit. We were invited to this parents meeting. Let's call it a parents meeting. And in this parents meeting, we were supposed to be talking to the teachers and the principal, no, the school counselor, about how individual learning changes how students, how well students perform in the classroom or something like that. And I was really excited because, you know, I'm not a firm believer of homework, and yeah, I'm not a firm believer of homework. I feel like students can learn in other effective ways. This really depends on how effective the teacher is as a teacher. So anyways, the teachers gave this big long presentation about individual learning and how they're gonna, not how they're going to, but basically what they want to do is they want to encourage individual learning and encourage the students to really tap into their own motivation. Yeah, I'm going to use this word motivation a lot, because what had happened was they gave this PowerPoint presentation that was probably 2 hours long, and they were talking about how they're not going to give notes, which is like basically the same thing like grades. So they're not going to get any tests. They're just going to, you know, let the kids basically do whatever they want. Meaning, you come into class, you say, hey, what's up with to your friends, you sit down and you have a plan, and I guess you start to work on that plan within the course of the time that the class is supposed to be in session. So you have 3 levels: hard, middle, and easy. Now, I don't know about you guys, when you guys were 12 and 11 years old, what you would have chosen as a regular kid, you know, not a geek or a nerd or whatever. But I definitely know that if somebody doesn't tell me that you have to try the hard one, I was definitely going to try the easy one, especially when it comes to a subject that I'm weak in, like math. Like that is the subject that my daughter's weak in. And so she would never, ever, ever try the hard one. So, okay, so this is happening and months are passing by and none of us, me nor my husband, know what, where, how, what's happening at the school. How well is my daughter doing? Because again, like I said, they don't get tests. So you don't really know if they are learning the information or not. And the teachers, I'm not really sure if they're there to really like look at them and say, oh, well, this student needs help with such and such, or this student needs help with such and such. It's all like kind of left to chance. And then you get a paper at the end of the semester saying your child completed this, completed that, and completed the other. So if you're supposed to be learning self-motivation, like how exactly is it that you are motivating this child to try something a little bit different or a little bit more challenging? This was the question that I posed to the teacher at the end of the semester when we had our follow-up meeting. And I brought back pictures of the PowerPoint presentation because my German is not so well. I have to go home and reevaluate and translate words. And so my question was direct. What are your specific methodologies? And this is what I talked to you guys about on on YouTube, when it comes to teaching. How are you going to implement motivation? You need to be very clear and specific about what are your daily routine plan of actions that you are going to implement to ensure that the student is motivated to challenge themselves as individual learners. So when you can't answer that question, then you're just talking out of your head, out of some PowerPoint that somebody gave you to report on, because you're supposed to do that as a part of your job, and you don't really have a clue as to what it is you're really talking about or what you're supposed to be doing as a teacher. So after this conversation happened and nobody could answer me, nobody could really give me any specific action plan or anything, I was less than amused. Needless to say, that is part of why I haven't been on Facebook for a while, because we've been looking for places. We've been trying to get out of this school system to get my daughter into a more traditional school system so that at least we can be ensured that there is some kind of structure. Because for me, it seems like there's a very fine line between, and I'm going to try to wrap this up now. There's a very fine line between having structure and being too rigid and allowing the student the place and opportunity to grow and feel comfortable enough to accept that they're being challenged and try to deal with those challenges. I'm sorry, there's a cross in the background. I do not want to be asked about that. Long story. And I'm starting to realize that, because being a firm believer of allowing students the opportunity and space to grow and to really explore themselves intellectually, I'm at a loss for words, and I'm having a real struggle, because I feel like I like that my daughter enjoys school and doesn't have homework and is not stressed out about homework. What I don't like is, as a parent and as a teacher, more as a parent, I'm not really clear as to what my kid is learning, nor do I have any reference point given to me from the school that says, this is what we're learning today, just in case you want to help her when she gets home, or this is what she needs to work on, and this is how we're measuring her level of success and, failure. It's not just about competition because I have the highest grades in class or I'm the best student. It's about, what is it that what do I have that is making me want to be a better student in the classroom? And so no one has answered that question. I'm still not clear as to what it is they are doing in the school, and that's why she's leaving the school. And I'm not entirely sure as to where we're gonna where we're going to what they're gonna do with this new system, because apparently it's a new system as well. So be very aware when you are there is a level of accountability. I am not really into lesson planning. If you've been a teacher for like me for over a decade, you don't really need to be like writing down all this specific details, because you kind of have a little bit of experience to say what works and what doesn't, and you don't have to write all that stuff down. To me, that's how I feel. However, there is a level of accountability when you're shaping minds that you have to record, and document. And I don't feel like the school is doing that. And I am very, very annoyed by that. And I just want to give a little bit of beware for teachers in terms of the borderline between administration and what really goes on in the classroom. Because you could have a parent like me that is going to listen to everything that you say and will have notes and questions when they come back, because my child's education is at stake and I cannot leave certain things to chance and experiment. So that's it for today, and I'm going to try to make sure that I follow this up in the next couple of weeks, because we're trying something new at home. And I'm going to get into that later on, because I also have a sister that's a professor in organic chemistry who is homeschooling her 3 boys. We're about the same age. And we have discussions about this kind of thing all the time. So, yeah, please give me your input. Do you think that I'm on the right track? Do you think this is a bad idea? Let me know how you feel.